Hey guys, so in this video, we're going to be going over the ultimate business line of credit guide to $300,000 in business funding, no doc, 2024 edition. Make sure to stay till the end of the video because at the end of the video, I'm going to reveal 5 no doc or low doc lenders that are going to give you $50,000 or more in business lines of credit. And I'm going to break down all of the qualifications for each of those institutions. So first things first, let's talk about what a business line of credit is and why it's probably the best lending product there is out there. Number 1 is that it's as good as cash. You do not need to liquidate it like a credit card where essentially even if you have a 0% interest introductory period for 6 to 18 months, you're still going to pay 5 to 6% interest in order to liquidate the card. With a line of credit, you could easily just transfer the funds from the line to a bank account. Done. Number 2, the line of credit could pretty much last for the entirety of the business. As long as you show the bank that you are continuously a good borrower, have no late payments, are not maxed out at all times, and are responsible with other lending products or other products that you have with that same institution. And making sure that most of the time your personal and business credit are on point because they will reevaluate and soft pull your reports from time to time. Number 3 is that it's interest-only payments. So in those periods where business is slow or you want to hold on to a little bit more cash or you have an order to fulfill where you need to provide the upfront capital in order to fulfill it, you could pay just interest-only payments rather than interest plus principal payments like you would with a loan. And you're only going to pay interest on what balance that you're using. So if you have a $50,000 line of credit and you only have a $20,000 balance with that line of credit, you're only paying interest payments on the $20,000 that you're using rather than the entire $50,000 like you would with a loan, even though with a loan, you may not be using the entire loan amount. Number 4, what you can use the line of credit for is very flexible. Number 1, you could fulfill orders that are required in your business that require upfront capital for cost of goods. Number 2, you can use it for working capital like running advertising. Number 3, you can consolidate high interest debts into smaller, more manageable payments over a longer period of time. And number 4, you could even use the money as a down payment for real estate. The options with this lending product are endless because it's almost as good as having cash in the bank account. Now, while I will go over no doc and low doc lines of credit that you can apply for at the end of this video, I do want to mention that there are certain criteria and certain documentation that you can have to open up your opportunities and possibilities to get lines of credit with other institutions. So what I'm going to do is take you to my computer and show you those 10 criteria and documentations that I recommend in order to get more access and more opportunity to different institutions. And this document will also include the 5 lending institutions that I promise that will give you $50,000 plus lines of credit with no doc or low doc. So getting right into it, the ultimate BLOC guide and list. So right now we're going to go over my recommendations to opening up more BLOC opportunities for more institutions other than the 5 that I'm going to mention down here. So number 1, and this is business age of 2 years plus. Even the majority of the no doc, low doc lines of credit will require this. So many of the institutions over here, including KeyBank, are going to require 2+ years in business. So if you don't have that, there is a hack around it, but keep in mind that the hack is you're going to need to buy an aged corp, and these could run anywhere from $5,000 plus. If you're interested in buying an aged corp, you can book a call with me below so that I can help you out in order to do so. Now, the next recommendation I have is to have a 720 plus personal credit score. And again, this is probably recommended for the majority of the institutions that I have below this video as well. All of these recommendations, by the way, are in order of importance. So you're going to see that the first few are even important for these no doc and low doc. And then lower down the line, it's going to be important to have these to open you up to more opportunities for other banks. But the cool thing is there is one institution down here in my list of 5 that's actually cool with you having a 620 plus credit score. But still, even for that one, I recommend the 700 plus credit score. You're going to see later in this video that bank that I will be going over. Next, you're going to want a low-risk NAICS code, and I'm going to list them over here. So the reason why these are important is because there are high-risk businesses that banks do not like lending to. So for example, if you're a business that lends to other companies and you go and turn around and whenever you get a lending product, like one of these business lines of credit, you take that line of credit and you go and lend it to someone else, banks hate those type of businesses. And there are many other businesses that are considered high risk, similar to that one, that they don't like lending to. So you want to make sure that you're going to pick a low risk NAICS code. D, you want a business website that goes over what your business does. So it's supposed to be comparable to this low risk NAICS code. Whatever it is in nature of business that you're saying your business does, the business website should reflect that. And I also have a video that goes over the best way to structure your corporation to get the most in business funding, and I'm going to link it somewhere over here and also in the description of this video. It's going to go over a lot of what I'm going over here with these items. Next, it's really important to have a business address that's separate from your home address and that this reflects on the IRS side and also on the state filing. After that, we want a 1-800 number. This is very easy to get on Twilio. It's $2 a month. No brainer, you should get it. It's very simple. Next, you're going to want a 3+ years average age of personal credit with $30,000 in comparable personal credit. Now, this is going to be a huge thing for any lending product that you're going to want to get, because what's going to happen is if you ever get a denial, even if you have really good credit, what's going to happen is they're going to tell you that you don't have enough comparable personal credit, and it's probably because you don't have these criteria here. Next, if you want to open up more opportunities, is you want 3 to 6 months bank statements showing solid business revenues. $450,000 a year plus is ideal. Underwriting typically lends based on 10% of revenue. So if you're making $450,000 a year and they see that based on your bank statements, they're going to give you a $45,000 product, specifically in this case, a line of credit. So again, you see, and I write over here, if you want $50,000, you're going to have $500K in revenue. Next, 2 to 3 years of strong, profitable business tax returns. Again, $450K plus or $500K plus if you want 50K LOCs. And then the last 2 to 3 years of personal tax returns with income of $100,000 plus. Banks want to know that if something happens with the business, that you personally will be able to cover any issues with revenue and be able to pay them back. Now, this is not an exhaustive list of everything that you can have to increase your chances and increase your opportunities to have lines of credit with other banks that require documentation, but these are the most important criteria and forms of documentations that I can think of that most banks ask for. Now, let's get into what you guys have been waiting for this entire video, and that's the 5 institutions that give you no doc or low doc business lines of credit. So the first one that we're going to go over is KeyBank, and they do no doc of up to $50,000 lines of credit, and it's purely based on stated income. So any business stated income of $500,000 plus will do. I recommend don't go too crazy with the number, but 575, 600 should be good. Next, they're going to ask you for the EIN and state filing. Very simple. They're going to ask you for your personal ID front and back to verify your identity. Make sure that all of your personal information is very clean across all of the bureaus. One address, one name, no aliases, so that it matches what's on your ID. Next, you're going to want your business to be 2+ years old, just like I mentioned up here. After that, you're going to want to make sure your personal credit report on Equifax is solid, as they will do a soft pull on the bureau and they will check it thoroughly. Included in that is you're going to want less than 3 inquiries before applying, especially within the last 6 months. Next, your nature of business or NAICS code should be low risk. I went over that previously in this video. After that, you're going to want a strong website. Again, I went over that already. And you're going to want to open a business checking account beforehand, but you can apply for the 50,000 BLOC immediately after you do that. So if you go in person, for example, and the banker opens the checking account for you, you can apply for the LOC immediately. They should have an answer for you within 10 to 15 minutes while you're sitting there. And then what I recommend is also applying for a $25,000 business credit card with them that has 6 months of 0% interest. And you can do that right after you apply and get approved for the line of credit. This play worked for me, and I was able to get $75,000 from this bank within 30 minutes. I also have a really good business relationship banker that hooked me up with not even having to go in person, which is how they do all the applications, but she was able to actually do everything for me over the phone, which is really good. Last, your business needs to be within any of these states. I recommend if you are not in this state that you do a foreign entity filing. Again, if you need any help with doing that, you can book a call with myself and my team below and we'll help you out. Next, we have Fifth Third, and this is going to be a low doc up to $100,000 line of credit. They're going to ask for 3 months bank statements. So this is what I mean when I say low doc. They're not going to ask for any business or personal tax returns, but again, they will ask for 3 months bank statements. So make sure that if you're applying for this, that you have some really strong looking bank statements that show that you have some cash flow. Everything else is going to be the same as KeyBank from letters B through I, but Fifth Third does make the credit card a lot harder to get, and you will not be able to apply for that immediately like you did with the line of credit. So you're going to have to wait there. I recommend 90 days. Make sure that you're using the bank account, put some deposits through there, be active with it. And these are the states that they are located in. Next, we have PNC, and this is also no doc up to $100,000. But I personally recommend going for $50,000 if you want to do stated income, because between $50,000 and $100,000, they may ask for bank statements. So be careful with that if you do not have actual income and you want to go stated income. Again, everything else is the same as KeyBank from letters A through I, but they will pull Equifax business credit report. So if you have a late payment on there, I do not recommend applying unless you clean up that late payment first. Personally, with me, I had one late payment on there, and just for that reason, they denied me, so be careful. And since this institution is the 5th largest bank in the US, they have this lending product available to everybody in all 50 states. Next, we have BMO Harris, and this is no doc up to $50,000. Again, this is everything the same as KeyBank from A through I, but this is the one where I was talking about lower credit scores. If you are a Black-owned business or if you are a Latino, they will lower the credit requirement to a 620 credit score, which is ridiculously low. So if you fall in that category and you have a lower credit score and you're Latino or Black and you have a business for at least 2 years, I recommend going for this. Okay, but still, if you have a 700 plus credit score, that's going to up your chances, of course. They do have a $50,000 max exposure for no doc. So if for whatever reason they approve you for a $40,000 line of credit, you still have $10,000 left of exposure. So I recommend just applying for a business credit card where you could potentially get a $10,000 limit. And these are all the states that they operate in. Again, foreign file if you are not within these states, and go for this product. Last but not least, we have Citizens Bank, which is low doc up to $75,000. They may ask for 2 months bank statements, so make sure you only ask for 10% of what you can substantiate. What do I mean by that? So if you make $20,000 a month on average within your bank statements, this would make it so that your business is making $240,000 in yearly revenue. So you only apply for $25,000 in your credit line. You could always ask for more in the future. Don't get greedy and get denied. Get the $24,000 line of credit if that's all you can get. Do not be greedy. And states, from what I know, they lend to all 50 states, even though they do not mention this anywhere on their website. I believe that they lend to all 50 states because they are a pretty big institution. So if you liked that video, and I know you did because I dropped a ton of gold nuggets in it, smash the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Make sure to hit the bell notification, and I'll see you next time.